Hi, beautiful. I'm Samantha, and welcome to the Resiliently app podcast. Every week on this channel, we have gentle conversations about motherhood, emotional well-being, nervous system regulation, self-compassion, and helping you feel a little bit more like yourself again. So let's take a deep breath together and talk about why you feel overwhelmed all of the time. Today's episode was inspired by a few messages I have received recently from women inside Resiliently app and also on my Instagram. And it is something that I have said to myself more times than I'd like to admit. Why do I feel overwhelmed all of the time? And I'm not just talking about occasionally overwhelmed, like a particularly hard day with the children, but all of the time. It feels like we're constantly trying to catch up. Like there's always something else you should be doing. I envisioned myself previously on a hamster wheel that I wanted to get off and I didn't know how to pump the brakes. It honestly can feel like you never actually get a chance to just sit down and rest. But on the outside, life probably doesn't look chaotic to everyone else because you're a mum. You're doing all the things. You're functioning. The kids are at school on time most days. You're making dinner. You're replying to your friends' text messages, showing up to work, doing all the things around the house, all the things that us mothers just are supposed to do. But inside, it feels like your brain is a laptop with 100 tabs open. And I use that analogy because I see that analogy a lot being used by us mothers. I'm guessing if you clicked on this video, that's exactly how you feel. And I just want you to know that there is nothing wrong with you. Okay. I want you to know that feeling overwhelmed is not a sign of failing. It's not a sign that you're a bad mother or you can't cope. It's just simply a sign from your body and your nervous system that you are carrying so much and you have been carrying it for too long. And I think the hardest part about overwhelm is majority of what we're carrying is in that invisible mental load that nobody else can see. It's all up in here in your mind. People see you doing all of the things like remembering what needs to be popped on the grocery list and going to work and being a mum, but they don't see that list that is forever running inside your mind. And it's not just all of your to-do list things either, like remembering a birthday present or when is that appointment for the kids. You're also carrying that emotional side of things of having concern for your children and making sure they're doing okay and they're happy and they've got everything that they need. And there's always something that you want to do for yourself, but just never get around to doing. Guilty. But what I've realized over the last few years is that overwhelm isn't just one big thing. It's all of those little things stacked on top of each other. Each tiny task, like buying a birthday present, doesn't seem like a big deal, but eventually all of the things that you are carrying becomes a huge, heavy pile. And then the fun part, when something small does happen, like your kid spills a drink off the table, or you kick your toe, or you open the white packet trying to get one wipe out and 50 billion come out with it, suddenly you feel like you're going to cry. The world's ending. That's it. I'm overwhelmed. I give up. Somebody else take the wheel, please. And I think that's why so many of us mums feel so guilty about feeling overwhelmed. And I feel like a lot of us kind of look around and think, well, you know, my life isn't that bad. I wanted to have children. I should be more grateful. Other people have it harder than me. And whilst those things may be true, it does not make your experience and your feelings any less real, okay? You are allowed to be grateful that you have children and completely overwhelmed. You are allowed to love your children deeply and also be deeply exhausted. And you can have a beautiful life, but still feel like you're drowning sometimes. All of those things can coexist. One of the things that helped me understand my overwhelm a little more was learning that when we operate out of stress for long periods of time, our nervous system can interpret that as everything on that to-do list being urgent. Our nervous system literally starts operating in that urgent state. And if you've ever had one of those days where it feels like every single thing in the day feels like an emergency, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And usually they're not even dramatic emergencies. They're just simple things like doing the dishes and putting the laundry away and replying to your friend. But your nervous system is interpreting that as an urgent task that has to be done. And she thinks everything is equally important. And because everything on your to-do list feels important from your nervous system's point of view, your brain just simply doesn't know where to start. So instead of moving forward and just doing every little thing that you do in your day calmly, we often end up feeling stuck and distracted, paralyzed, or even just so exhausted and so fatigued that that list just feels so heavy. And then we beat ourselves up for not getting everything done and for even feeling the way that we're feeling. When in reality, our nervous systems are just waving a little white flag asking for support, and we're not listening to her. I think that's the part that nobody teaches us. We spend so much time trying to be more productive and more organized, but very little time on how to support ourselves when we feel overwhelmed. Sam, I'm overwhelmed. I understand. I feel everything you've just said I'm relating to. Now what? This isn't magical and it's not going to fix everything. And I really don't want you to roll your eyes at me. But this small little tool, repeated consistently, can be incredibly powerful. And I know firsthand it has been for me over the last 5 years since I've been using it. Whenever I feel myself feeling overwhelmed, before I try and fix anything or tick another thing off my to-do list or start completely replanning my life, I stop and I take 3 deep belly breaths. That's it. And again, please don't roll your eyes at me, because one of the things that annoyed the crap out of me the most when I was in a constant state of overwhelm was people to say, just relax, just breathe, just get out of my face. Hear me out. Let me explain why. I know it sounds too simple and a little bit silly, but what I've learned over the years is that when we're overwhelmed, we're usually trying to solve the problem from the same state that created it. We're trying to think our way out of overwhelm while our body is still feeling overwhelmed. Those 3 breaths create a pause, the tiniest moment where you stop carrying everything. And it's a tiny message to your brain and your nervous system that it is safe to slow down. When my therapist first introduced me to this over 5 years ago, I was waking up in a state of overwhelm as soon as I opened my eyes in the morning. And she told me to do this before checking my phone, before going to the toilet, before having a sip of water, before even sitting up, if possible, to bring that overwhelm down before I even start my day. And then whenever you feel that tension rising throughout the day, it is so simple. You can do it anywhere. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 and out through your mouth for a count of 4. That's it. I personally like to have a hand on my heart, a hand on my belly, so that when I'm breathing in through my nose, I can feel my belly expanding, and out through my mouth, I can feel it going back down again. Now, the first times I did this, I was like, this isn't working. This is stupid. I didn't feel any changes. I also think I was trying to rush through it because I just didn't want to feel overwhelmed anymore. The more I practiced it, the more calm I felt, the more regulated I felt, and the more natural it just started to become. But it may create just like 1% of breathing space than you had a few moments prior. And sometimes it's literally all we need. Healing isn't always about giant transformations, okay? Sometimes it's just about creating tiny pockets of safety throughout your entire day. Now, I have an app called Resiliently app, and it's specifically for mothers who are craving a more calm life with some gentle healing. And in there, I created a free 3 deep belly breath habit tracker that teaches you exactly how to do it. You can just tick when you've done it, and then it has a little reflection prompt to see how you're feeling. Just a little 1% of your day, a couple of minutes to check back in with yourself. The other thing, if you do want to download the app for free to check that out, you'll also receive free daily affirmations on your lock screen every single day. You don't have to pay a cent. It was so important to me to give as many mums possible access to free tools to help regulate themselves and start coming home to themselves. And I'll link them below for you if you do want to check it out. No pressure at all though, but please try these 3 deep belly breaths and let me know how you go. But more than anything, I really just want you to leave this episode knowing that you are not failing, you are not weak, you're not incapable. You are just carrying so much and you're not alone. Every woman watching this is right here with you. I am right here with you. Today doesn't need to be the day that you magically fix anything. I just hope that you take a moment for yourself to just set some of that down and not feel guilty about it. So next week, we're going to be delving a little bit deeper again and talking about why feeling calm can be really hard to access sometimes. And if you gained something from today and you want to listen to that episode and learn a little bit more about yourself, I would love it if you could subscribe. This channel is very brand new, so that every single week we can just sit down together, have a coffee, tea, glass of water, whatever, and start getting you back to the woman that you already are inside. You deserve that, and you deserve calm, you deserve patience, you deserve self-compassion, and that is everything that we're going to be talking about moving forward. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. Please give this video a like if you did enjoy it, or leave any questions or comments below on other things that you would love to learn a little bit more about. I'll see you next week. Bye.